Let's go. We're rolling. We're live.
We are live. Back once again. Welcome to Uncut and Unfiltered Podcast. Today, we are looking at Royal Brackla, a very delicious Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Actually, one of my favourites. I cannot wait to get stuck in. As always, joined by the man himself, sailing those friendly seas of whiskey, the Drowned Pirate. How are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, coming live to you from my nan's gaff.
Yeah. Lovely. Where is your nan?
We
want the meatloaf now!
She died.
Fuck!
She died.
She died. Okay, sorry. Well, there we go. That's why we're still waiting.
We're in
a lovely spot.
We're in a hotel in the middle of fucking nowhere, and this is actually the living room to my bedroom. So it's a bit outdated.
Thank you for hosting us.
Lean into it, please, everybody.
100%. We're not only joined by Drowned Pirate, but also joined by Ryan Worthington. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. How are you, sir?
Thank you. Well, as Steve has just said, I was all right until we entered this fucking haunted hotel that we're in at the minute. But no, other than that, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
We've got some good spirits on our side.
Oh, yeah.
Do not worry. The devil will stay away. You're obviously sitting in Posh's usual space, so I need lots of just, brutal tasting notes.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, are you sure?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Now listen, you're jumping right in there. Okay. You need to also say things maybe with a bit of an air of arrogance, like you really know stuff.
Yeah.
Posh,
Yeah.
Posh knows his shit.
And every now and then,
thinks that no, he does.
and then every now and then you need to reach down and eat some chocolates.
Yeah.
12
Yeah,
bites.
no
12 bites and Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It's a must.
I'll make sure I get every tasting note wrong. So the comments Phil going, this guy doesn't know what he's on about. That's not peated. But it's going to be fine.
So, gents, we're here in this very strange room. It is a bit creepy, but let's not focus on that. Today, we've had a phenomenal day. And I think that's the main takeaway of today. We have been, obviously, a whiskey broker, doing some amazing bottlings. And we've actually bottled our own Royal Brackla today, which is really exciting. It's not something that we like to focus on here at Uncut, our business. We do have an independent bottling business, the Whisky Baron. It's what we do professionally. Uncut is obviously what we do in our free time. We like to try whiskies. It's our passion. It's what we do in our free time. And we love sharing that journey with yourselves. So whilst we're completely unprofessional here, in our professional life, we are lucky enough to work with these sumptuous spirits like Royal Brackla. And today we have bottled a 10-year-old, a 2014 what was a sherry butt. It was actually split into two separate fresh sherry hogsheads, one Oloroso and one Pedra Jimenez. I did that with a bunch of sherry butts. They were all split in half. And I assumed that we would kind of take all of the Olorosos and all of the Pedra Jimenezes and kind of create two separate expressions. However, I tried these two particular hogsheads, and I think you tried them separately as well.
Yeah.
And I felt that the sum of the component parts was better than the ingredients themselves.
Yeah.
So we've actually taken one Pedro Jimenez cask and one Oloroso cask of this Royal Brackla, 10 years old, with a 5-year finish in fresh sherry. Pour us your glass there, Ryan. Let's get it in the glass. This
Beautiful.
isn't something that is released yet under the Whisky Baron. This is something that we have literally just bottled today. So fresh off the shelves.
Literally could not be fresher.
It could not be fresher.
literally.
It's actually still quite cold in the bottle because we were in the warehouse, and I think Martin was saying it was -4 today at one point.
I think on the way there it was -5. Yeah.
-5.
It was cold.
It's cold, and this bottle is cold. So we might need to heat this up a wee bit in the glass. This has been bottled not at a cask strength, but at a very high strength. It came off out of the casks. The two casks together, I believe, were at 60.8 or 60.9. Can't remember. We have watered it down to 59.4. So literally 1% off the top. And I think we all agreed it just helped to open it up a little bit. So let's get stuck in and see what we think.
Royal Brackla, have you had much Royal Brackla, Ryan? Or
Do you know what? No. I've always seen them knocking around. I've seen obviously I've seen loads of people that have been sharing Royal Brackla, but myself, I've never tried it. Not even the core range, So this is completely new to me. Obviously, having a little dip and sample earlier was probably the first I've ever tried, really.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's such a shame because to me, Royal Brackla is a phenomenal distillery.
Yeah.
It's owned by Bacardi and it's one of their true gems. I mean, to be honest, pretty much the whole Bacardi portfolio is diamonds. But I really love Royal Brackla. And the weird thing about it is I think they're at like 4.4 million litres capacity.
Really?
Most of it goes into dewars. So most of it's going into blended products.
Yeah.
You'd never know Royal Brackla's in there. It's just, a nice blend on the shelf.
Have they always had an OB range then? Or is this a kind of a new-ish thing? Or
have they always had an OB range? I would imagine no. This is a distillery that was founded, I want to say, in the 1800s. They got the first royal warrant ever back in 1836, 1838. It was King William, someone or other. Sorry, I'm not a royalist. Sorry,
one of them.
Baldies. It was King William the something or other, exactly. And I'm pretty sure they were founded in the 1800s. They got the royal warrant later in the 1800s. So, I'll tell you what, 1812, I'm guessing, given the...
Oh, yeah.
So they got the royal warrant in 1838 or whatever it was. So since 1812, no, I cannot imagine that this has been single malt across the time. It was owned by Diageo for a while and then sold on to Bacardi, as was kind of the Dewar's sort of portfolio or whatever. But yeah, so it's a great whiskey. To me, it sits up there at the premium end. This is a luxury spirit. To me, people talk about Macallan hitting this kind of this real, it's like an air of luxury around. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That feel. And it's not just in the packaging and the branding, it's in the liquid. And to me, I think that they could maybe do a little bit with the branding. They've kind of done a couple of rebrands over the last 10 years. And to me, they haven't quite hit the nail on the head.
I agree.
But the liquid within, boom.
I suppose that's where you want it, though. Like, you're completely right. The branding, to me, it does look quite simplistic, I suppose, but I quite like that.
Yeah.
And hopefully, that if you're saying that follows through in the liquid, I think
what they've tried to play on is the kind of the very traditional, it is the first with the royal warrant. Yeah. So, like I say, I'm not a royalist, so maybe that's why it's not speaking to me. That's not the sort of brand that I buy into. But you're right. It doesn't matter when the juice on the inside is as good as it is. My only caveat to that is, and we'll come on to these, it's been a while since I've sampled them with a fresh palate. Normally I'm sampling them at a whiskey show or something. You've got, however many drams deep. My only caveat to that is sometimes some of the expressions are a little bit too low on the ABV side. And that's not to say that they're bad. They're just leaving stuff on the table, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, though, they don't go around 40.
No, what are these, 46?
46, yeah.
46%. Yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful strength.
Yeah, no, it is. But yeah. And do they do single cask expressions as well for an OB range?
You know what? It's a great question.
We'll Google it.
Couldn't tell you.
We'll Google it.
They've got the 12, they've got the 18 and the 21. They used to have a 16, but I think they scrapped the 16.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong.
I remember the 16, actually.
So they had the 12, the 16, the 18, and then the 21. And they used to be in kind of very dark blue labels on the front and everything. So now they've changed it a little bit. And I think what they focused on now as well is flavour profile. So I think this 12 is an Oloroso. You can see it there. Is it Oloroso?
It is.
And then this one's Palicatado.
It is, yeah.
Good, I'm remembering correctly.
Good memory.
I only took them out of the box 20 minutes ago, but there we go. Struggle. So I think they're focused a little bit more now on flavour profiles, which again, for the modern drinker, what do all of these things mean? Well, actually, what it means is you're going to get this sort of flavour profile. So I think it makes it a bit more accessible.
Royal Brackla does go under the radar a bit, I think.
For what it is, I think it's so far under the radar. It is one of those, uncut gems. It's one of those things that, most people don't know about.
Not anymore, mate. Now you've said that, the whole world is going to go by Royal Brackla.
Sold out everywhere. That would be amazing. I don't think so, though. Whilst you're a beautiful audience, I don't think we have the strength within our community to quite do that just yet. But yeah, so look, obviously this expression is ours. I don't want to bang on about the Whisky Baron, but let's talk about the juice within because...
So, sorry, you did just mention that. I was just checking the sound and making sure all the technical things were straight. These are vatted together now. Sorry, the Brackla. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
So it was originally one sherry butt.
Yeah.
And we finished, or double matured, arguably 5 years in a sherry butt, split into 2 fresh sherry hogsheads. These hogsheads in particular came from Fernando di Castilla, one Oloroso, one Pedro Jimenez. Boys, please stop. What Royal Brackla, and again, I talk about Macallan, I talk about Glendronach, these malts that are seen to be, whether they deserve it or not, Dalmore as well, seen to be in this premium sherried, they're all sherried or they all focus on sherry. They all have that air of luxury. I personally think the Royal Brackla should be right up there. Macallan, Glendronach, Dalmore, Royal Brackla. It deserves to be in that run.
Far out, man. That's a statement.
Yeah, that is.
And it's not. This is a blue chip distillery. This is top-notch stuff. And I don't understand why it doesn't reach that. So, sorry, I'm just actually looking. There you go. Stephanie McLeod is the malt master. And she's very it's the pinnacle of sherry cask finishing is one of the biggest things on the back. It is all to do with sherry casks here at Royal Brackla.
I'm going to ask you another question you probably don't know the answer to.
Go on.
Stephanie McLeod, is she new there?
She's the malt master.
Yeah, but...
And she ensures that only the finest quality sherry casks are sourced from Spain to create the most luxurious whiskies fit for royalty.
How are you getting all this from memory?
You know what? I wax lyrical.
Good God.
If anyone wants to get in contact, we...
I need some bottles in my notes. Sticky notes on the back.
Look, straight up and down, I do not know Stephanie McLeod personally.
Sure.
The name is familiar, and I'm pretty sure that she has held her position for a while within Bacardi.
Shout out Stephanie then.
I'm more than happy to be proven wrong, and she is probably the person that should be telling us stories about this brand. So... as you can see, we've got two expressions here today. It means, Stevie, that we can come back to this, hopefully with Stephanie at a later episode. If that's something you'd like to see, please drop down below. Bacardi, Stephanie McLeod, all caps. We did it with Billy. Who else we've done that with? We've done it with a few people now where we've asked the community to tell us. They've told us and we've done it.
Oh,
We
good.
did two Billies.
We did two Billies, yeah.
Yeah, two Billies.
Two Billies.
There's a running
And a
trend
Colin.
here.
Anyway, what do we think? What do we think?
I'm just getting stuck into it. I've just been warming it up because it was pretty cold.
Yeah, I think warming it up is.
I think this is one that we probably need to come back to by the end of the episode.
I
It might
think so too.
Still need warming up.
so too.
The thing I like about Royal Brackla is there is that kind of orchard fruity vibe, but it layers up with the tannins and the depth of the sherry. I get this really wonderful, luxury leathers. I don't know if any of you have ever been stupid enough to buy something from Louis Vuitton that's leather, or even just been into their shops. But you know that can't remember the name of the type of leather that they use. That high quality, really fine leather. It smells a little bit like that.
Cow's leather.
Huh?
Cow's leather.
It's a specific type. Don't make me sound like
Highland
a tit.
cow.
Highland cow leather.
Highland cow leather.
that's
German
definitely
cow.
it.
That famous one.
Whatever it is, listen, somebody in the comments will know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it kind of gives that sort of vibe. But there's still quite a bit of fruit on there for me.
Yeah.
And
I think you're right as well. Like you say, when we taste them individually, I was quite sold on them. I think as two individual bottlings, and then obviously when that are together and then trying it, it's hard to explain, but it does just give that extra level.
Right.
Like you say, the texture behind it and all that kind of stuff is even better. Now you've added them, two pretty good liquids together again, and it brings it out really nicely. Yeah.
I'm glad you think so, mate. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, for me, exactly that. This is a texture thing. I think that it's almost now turning a little bit more kind of velvety in the mid palate before it starts that drying nature. Whereas I think you were right, Stevie. The Oloroso by itself was arguably a little bit too dry, and the Pedro Jimenez by itself, again, is lovely. But if you don't like that super sweet style, it's too much. So,
brings the best of both worlds, really.
Exactly. It's that balance. It's bringing the best of both worlds together. And you still, like I say, for me, I kind of get there, and we'll come on to it more in this, and no doubt in the 18 as well. But peaches. I get peach pit.
Yeah.
Something that I really get.
Get more kind of burnt peaches, but yeah.
Okay, I get sucking on just the end of a peach pit, just that little bit of flesh from the fruit hanging around a little bit.
There's a bit of spice in here for me. I don't know if it's because it's first dram of the
I'd have put that.
day. A little bit of nice spice, but it's almost like a stewed apple spice. When you're sort of making stewed apples,
cinnamon and all the rest of it being chucked in on top,
as you would in your nan's house.
I mean,
but exactly that. Yeah.
It's a lot nicer drinking it in here, I think, than the freezing conditions we're having it before.
No,
well.
absolutely, absolutely. Don't haunt us, room.
Yeah.
But it's exactly that. It's like cloves, cinnamon. It's a sort of rich spice in there.
Cloves.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that went down the wrong way. Cloves, definitely. Excuse me.
And it's got the stickiness to it as well.
Yeah. It's the finish as well that's nice. It does just linger on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're completely right, like the spice. And, now you say peaches, it's one of those, isn't it? You say something and you're like, oh my God, I've got it straight away. But, you do.
Oh, wow. Sorry, lads. So, opened 1812. It was silent. This is really cool. I don't know any other brand that does this, and I've never recognised it before. This distillery was silent from 1813 to 1814, from 1940 to 1945, from 1964 to 1966, and from 1985 to 1990. So during its lifetime, it has had 4 closures, and they've all been kind of
during the wars,
2 to 5 years long.
Well,
so they're very short closures.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
You are right. I've never seen anyone
Well, I'm
disclose
guessing
that open on
when
a
you say
bottle.
the one in the 40s was probably during the war, no?
40 to 45, yeah. That's obviously the war for sure. But
yeah.
it's really interesting that it was founded in 1812, 1813 and 14.
That's weird.
Nothing happened.
So after a year.
Yeah.
After a year, they went,
enough.
this isn't for us.
Take a break.
Can it
I
off.
bet you anything there's a good story in there.
Probably.
Yeah.
They probably went bankrupt building it or something. If you know the story, please drop it in the comments below. Unfortunately, I have not prepared for this episode, so I don't have the story. But there we go. One thing I can tell you about Royal Brackla, and I'll tell you as I'm opening this, so it's not just a Jake show, we do actually get on to some of the Royal Brackla, is I'm pretty sure it's their water source is Cawdor Springs. And you'll notice on the boxes there, it does say Cawdor. And again, for people who are sort of interested in casks and the cask market and all of that, a lot of distilleries started selling trade name spirit back in 2014 to protect their brands. Something I've been telling you a little bit about.
Yeah.
Some distilleries will just withdraw their stock from the market because they want to protect their brands. Others do kind of require that secondary market in order to help with cash flow. So as opposed to selling Royal Brackla, what they sell since 2014, I believe, is Cawdor Springs. Same with Craigellachie. Craigellachie is Blue Hill. Aberfeldy is Pitterley. What else is in the Bacardi range? Struggling to think. It doesn't matter anyway. I'll give you 3.
Yeah.
3 is enough. So this is it. Again, it's all to do with their location and their water source. Hey.
Oh, beautiful.
That's a beautiful pop. And I have to say, I'll pass it around in a second. You can all pour your own drinks.
Yeah.
It feels
I do like the shape of the bottles.
It feels brilliant. Hold that. Pour yourself a dram, sir. How nice does that feel?
That's definitely a
Got to
new
admit,
bottle.
you know
with
what,
the new
I'm-
brand.
And this is it. I like the bottles. I don't like the tubes.
I was going to say I'm more impressed with the bottle itself.
I'm not sure
tube,
about the label.
I don't like tubes anyway. I just don't see the point, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I know.
See, I look at it merely from like a photography point of view and like trying to make the spirit look as good as it can. And I think
You like the label?
the bottle and the label speak a lot louder to me than like the
tube,
tubing.
right. Yeah.
I think it's really hard, especially like to get a
nice
tube and the
bottle.
labeling right. I do agree if they modernised
Look at the wedge of glass
it,
in there
maybe
as well.
that's
Big
controversial,
glass.
but a slight like modernisation on that label, I think would go strides personally.
I agree. I completely agree.
but
I think the bottle
feels incredible.
Fucking sexy.
I mean, in
Sorry,
terms
you're
of
probably
like,
not allowed to say that anymore.
in terms of
but
a
it does feel
ergonomical
really
feeling
good.
bottle, that is fucking
It's
up there.
weighty.
Yeah.
It's luxury.
Yeah.
And again, that's what you want. There's
That curvature up as well, which is so weird to explain, but it like
they've done studies on, I think it was on wine specifically, but obviously it's going to come across with the whiskey, where the heavier the bottle, inherently you think that the wine is better quality.
Right, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
They've done all of these sorts of studies. It's the same as in restaurants, you inherently
wow.
think that the more you pay for a wine, the better it's going to be. And the restaurant industry have a fucking giggle with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
But I personally feel that not enough brands get their glassware right. It's something that I talk about with Glendronach all the time. My favorite brand, incredible. Even the new branding is great. I personally don't think the glassware is still right, though. I think it needs to be weightier.
I was going to say, is that what you think? Like it's just quite on the
it's
light
that luxury.
side.
It's the feel.
Yeah.
It's the feel of it in your hands.
Which is
You
half
close
the
your eye and
experience.
go, fucking hell.
Yeah.
This is really nice.
The
What have I
bench
got
drove
here?
by it.
This is expensive already.
Yeah.
And this is less than £100 a bottle, and that feels like more than £100
Yeah.
a bottle. Which people are probably thinking this guy's a fucking Egypt, but seriously, this is to me that makes a big difference, and I think that it does to a lot of people, particularly again those who don't know brands, people who are buying with their eyes, who are going into shops, who are feeling things. That feels like luxury. Anyway, this is 12 years. This is an Oloroso finish. Yep. Sherry cask finish, Oloroso. Again, unfortunately, I've got the royal warrant date wrong. Apparently, the royal warrant was in 1833. I said 1836. Apologies. That's on the tube as well. I'm getting all the stats wrong. But don't worry, because Royal Brackla are here. I don't believe that the finishing period is overly long. I think it's less than 2 years. I think it's 2 years or less, rather.
Natural colour?
All natural colour. Yeah. I think across
And
the board
non-chill.
with maybe not Aberfeldy.
Okay.
Pretty sure Cregality, all natural colour.
And are we
non-chill
lower on this?
filters.
46.
These are all 46.
Yeah.
Great colour.
Really nice.
Beautiful colour, natural colour, exactly what you want. Again, why a
I mean,
brand
because
putting
it's some
colour in it?
12-year-olds. I mean, granted, they're not finished in Oloroso, but, you know.
But this
In
is
fact,
why you. This is why you do a finish
I've
to add some
seen-
colour, to add some flavour, to
yeah.
round it
Of
off,
course.
right?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you don't
well, of
fuck a load of colour into it instead.
Yeah. This is probably darker than some brands that have chucked colour in and are not sherry. Do you know what I mean?
Which completely ruins the idea of what you're trying to do.
Ridiculous.
So what I love about that is the spiciness.
Yeah.
The spice comes through and through and through.
It's quite nice and light as well, which is good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lovely.
Yeah, you're right. It's very light on the
Yeah,
palate,
yeah.
but it's not thin.
No, it holds that light.
It is almost weightless, but
Yeah.
it still coats your mouth.
Yeah.
In
So
kind
weird,
of a
like, to
very
put into
light
words.
oil. It's
Yeah.
like a very, very light oil that coats your mouth, but it hangs around. What do you think, Stevie? Have you lost the buzz? I feel like you're going to say
No.
It's a bit thin.
I think because the liquid's cold, it feels a bit thicker in your mouth.
Yeah.
But I do get what you mean. It's very soft.
Yeah.
Very soft. I don't think it's thin. Not a huge sort of. There's not a long finish on this, but what it packs before is really great, as you say.
Yeah.
Those orchard fruits that come through really nicely. I get more kind of like a sour apple in a way. On
Yeah,
this
good
now.
shout. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good shout.
yeah.
Not like a sweet
No,
sour
no,
apple, but do you know what I mean? Just
I know
like
exactly what you mean.
like an actual apple that's gone a little bit, a real apple that's gone a bit sour.
Yeah.
and that spice is really nice.
The
as well.
spice is lovely on it, yeah.
And for
But you're right.
46%.
It's light. It's quite kind of. It's surprisingly kind of bright and. It's really quite interesting, actually.
Yeah,
You
and
know
you're
what?
right, the way it coats the mouth as well, it's like it's sitting here.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's definitely there. But yeah, you're right, Stevie. The finish isn't overly long.
No.
It's not
But
overly
it
complex.
remains, you can still feel it despite not tasting.
Sorry, 2 seconds. You keep chatting.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, talking about fruit a lot, it would be rude not to address the kind of woodiness in this as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I get, you know, there's a really nice kind of like. Dogs have been told off now.
And
There he
for our
is.
next guest,
Welcome back to the podcast.
And here come the comments of about
Christmas
Max,
pyjamas.
No, Max Christmas pajamas. Don't listen to them, Max. But yeah, no, there's some lovely kind of like it's not like a wood varnish.
It's got that feel though.
But do you know what I mean? It's almost like
a wood
cigar
coating.
boxy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cigar box, you've got it.
Yeah.
Sour apples, cigar box.
Yeah. That sounds great.
That does sound great.
I mean, are there tasting notes on the 12?
There's tasting notes on all of them, I think.
Yeah. I mean, what do they have to say? Yeah.
I mean, you are so right.
Summer
with the way that
breeze.
bowl.
It's nice, isn't it?
Really nice.
We got it?
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Right.
Spice, cherries, and demerara, they say.
Ripe peaches, black cherries, toasted almonds, dark
Black
brown
cherries,
sugar.
I'm not getting.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not getting the cherry.
I tell you what, I get cherries in our original one.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Almost
yeah.
those Luxardo maraschino cherries, you know, those fucking
Definitely.
coated in.
Especially now when you go back to it as well and like now it's warmed up a little bit.
That's a good shout. Yeah, Luxardo maraschino cherries on the first one. But they say that for their 12?
Yes.
No, I don't get that
No.
at all. So, sorry, you said sour apple, I agree. You said cigar box, I agree. What else are we getting here, though? It's the spices. It's those kind of... I want to put some words to those spices.
Oh, this just takes over. I just had a sip of our one.
It's the strength difference that like really brings
You
it
have
out.
to have a little.
Well, you are 10% plus
Yeah.
more. Well, 13.4%.
But even the richness in the sherry just completely takes over.
Well,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's a 5-year finish against what is,
Yeah.
like I say, I'm not 100% certain. And if you know,
Yeah.
please do let us know. But I believe a 2-year finish.
Probably.
It is a little bit different.
Probably. Yeah.
And we're not doing this as a comparison, guys. That's not the purpose of this.
Well, not like that, but we are in a way.
Well, I suppose
We're comparing notes to each.
Yeah,
which,
I suppose you've got to do, you know.
I suppose.
Jake's just trying to be humble.
Toasted almonds.
don't let him.
Well, this is my juice. Do you know what I mean?
True.
They still made it. I've
True.
just taken ownership
Yeah.
of it and tried to mess around a bit and have some fun, and ultimately kind of replicate what they do anyway. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love the distillery. Dark brown sugar is what it says on the back as well. Sorry, and that's what they say on the front. Demerara. I do
Yeah,
get that light touch of Demerara.
The cherry I'm really not getting, no matter how many times I go back
That's
into
a
it.
stretch. Very big
I
stretch.
wonder though if you didn't have this one here.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
You would push.
It's too light and bright, like we said. It is
Yeah.
light. It is bright. It's slightly oily.
Spiciness in the oil is definitely like, you know, cigar box, like you say, you bang on with that really. But
Yeah, it's
cherry
it's
is
peach pit to sour apple to cigar box to then the finish of those dry spices, and it's not overly
Yeah.
complex.
No, yeah,
Which is
yeah.
That's a
nice,
really
yeah.
nice journey.
But for a core range 12, it doesn't need to be. I
No,
don't think.
it's
just
exactly what you
introduction.
want. It's exactly what
Yeah.
you
the
want.
finish.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I probably want a bit more of a kick, but to be honest, that is still.
No, it's an
delicious
everyday
malt.
drinker. Listen, when we come
This
on
is
to the
it,
18,
yeah.
Exactly,
tell me
yeah.
what
And
you
I suppose, yeah, for a 12, like you
And there's
exactly
nothing in
right.
between the 12 and 18.
I don't know. There could still be the 16.
I was going to say, if
actually
they
have a
got
look.
like a 16,
Let's have a
15.
look.
They must have a 15.
I think you're right there.
or
For
They have the
16.
21 definitely still.
For a 12 year, every day, that is.
Well, where are we price
More than
point
enough.
though, on this? What did you pay for this 12-year-old?
I believe I got a bit of a deal. So let me hold on 2 minutes now. So the Master of Malt. So normally this sells at about £63. I picked it up. Master of Malt had a special sale there. It's currently still on, but by the time this goes out, probably isn't. For £50, 95 pence.
Okay.
I mean, that's
not
really
bad.
good price.
51
yeah.
quid.
Not
I think
bad.
that is
Yeah, I'd agree.
fucking spectacular. And even at
Yeah.
£63, it's starting to get a bit more up there. It's still pretty reasonable.
But, I mean,
when you
for
look at the quality,
yeah.
versus some of these. And look, you know, Ian's here. What you should be saying is Bunna
Yeah.
12, mate. Bunna 12, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, look,
it
the
doesn't
age
have anything on
statement,
Bunna 12.
Sack it off, Boona, all the way.
You could
Get me
spend
a
that
Boona
budget
here.
a lot worse.
Ian, I'm
Correct.
with you.
You
Don't
know.
you worry.
Yeah.
Even when he's not here, he's here.
Ian, you're here in spirit.
What have we got? So the 18, yeah, 12, no. Yeah, no, I don't.
Really?
I don't
Surprises
think so.
me.
Interesting. I thought they'd have
Surprised
gone,
me.
like you say, for a 15, maybe 16.
Yeah, I mean, unless that's something they're planning on, or on sort of filling the core.
No, yeah, revamped the range. It is the 12, 18, 21 now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And the same with the 18, which I know we will come on to. I know we're not discussing it at the minute, but Master of Malt also had a deal on. And I'll tell you exactly what it was. Normally £135, currently £119.95. So £120 and £51.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me, I think this is... Sorry, sitting back. To me, I think this is a beautiful journey. It's light, it's simplistic, it's surprisingly bright for an Oloroso. It's maybe not what I would expect, given it says Oloroso finish on it.
Makes you wonder how long it's matured in there, I think, like you say.
And exactly that, I personally would want to... I personally would want to have that detail on the box, and I'm just looking.
Yeah.
They've given us a
Yeah.
good bit of information, but unfortunately they haven't given us sort of specific information about this bottling,
No.
which is a shame, but hey-ho.
Yeah, we'll admit the label is growing on me. Yeah, as I'm sat here, you know, watching and drinking it, it's...
The more whiskey I drink, the more I like it.
Yeah. More blood, I guess.
This is lovely.
Yeah, the more I squint my eyes.
Oh, I've changed my mind. I love it. I'm a massive fan.
I, on the nose on the 12, when it first went in my glass, there was a little bit of like florality about it. There was a very floral kind of, almost kind of like I don't want to say bay leaf.
Okay.
No, but yeah. Did
Yeah.
you get that? Any?
Not
the
Bailey.
floral side.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
A touch
again,
of
it's that
perfume,
lightness.
maybe.
Yeah.
Just a touch?
Touch of perfume, more on the nose, I would say.
Yes, yeah, not on the palate. No.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Okay, yeah.
Just the
Right.
nose.
Yeah, okay. Then definitely I get a touch of sort of perfumed, yeah, definitely, but it doesn't come across at all on the palate.
No, not
Which is kind of, yeah, right, okay. No, definitely. Bay leaf, though, you said.
I know that's so
That's
bougie.
very specific.
Oh yeah.
No, I love the specific.
It's kind of like,
but
it's kind
I'm
of
just-
like a
I'm not there.
yeah. Anyway.
Did you see what Jan said, by the way, recently there?
No.
She had said something, I can't remember exactly, and I haven't gone back to comments in a while, guys, and I'm so sorry, we have been busy. It's not an excuse. I will do my best to jump in the comments and get back to everybody as soon as possible. But I did see a notification come through from Jan, because you had been, obviously Jan called me out. Jan's one of our amazing community members.
Yeah.
And she called me out early days for just saying, oh, this is fucking great. That's fucking, fuck is not a tasting note, Jake. Which, fair fucking play. I said,
yeah.
you know, I'll do some proper tasting.
yeah.
So we gave her some good tasting notes. But she's always said how good Stevie is with his tasting notes. And it was one of the last episodes, you started going, oh, this is fucking amazing. And Jan commented saying, for some reason when Stevie says it, it's actually a really good tasting note.
Because it's personal with you, mate.
yeah.
Maybe. But it made me laugh. But anyway, yeah. So,
Oh, that bunner was good though.
the which, sorry?
The manzanilla bunner.
Oh, is that what that's probably what you were
That's
talking
all
about,
cracking.
right?
It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
sorry, like,
Yeah, no, fair.
it's fucking good.
It is, yeah, fair play.
And that's
no,
it.
dib.
But
So what are we thinking of this? This is the King's Own whiskey. So it's the first distillery to get that royal warrant, whatever the date was. I got it wrong. It's 1833, not 1836. But, you know, I think that's quite a cool little, title to have. Like I said, I'm not a royalist. I don't care less. But, historically, I think that's pretty big,
I think it adds into the whole
it's
thing.
Scotland being put on
yeah.
the map all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? It's, it's no longer just the drink of the rough, rugged northerners. It's, the drink of the London gentleman. And this is, again, what I love about this brand and where it holds a bit of a special place in my heart, it being used so much in the Jewish blends. Obviously, John Dewar being one of the original whiskey barons. So I've got a lot of respect and time for him, I personally would love to see more of it as is, but, what can you do? That is the nature of the business. But
to have the first one as well, obviously there were a lot of royal warrants granted as time went on.
I don't think there's a lot. I
Not
think
many.
there's
I mean,
3, 4.
Diageo.
Royal Lochnagar, I think, was number 2.
Right. Who else? Justerini and Brooks. They've got quite a few.
Yeah, but they're not a distillery.
Right. Okay. Makes difference.
Yeah. Like Berries also have a royal warrant. and
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
there's a lot of companies with, but I'm talking
Yeah.
just a distillery.
Where's our royal warrant? That's what.
I'm lost in the post. Charlie!
Get on him. Get down there.
Because Charles tuned in.
I don't think that we're on the agenda, to be honest.
No, it's cool to have the first one. I get
Yeah,
that.
very
I think that's such a good selling point for them as well. Like you say, the history.
I mean, it's the King's Own whiskey.
I
That's
know,
a cool
yeah.
title to have. Like, even like,
Pretty up there.
I think that's fucking awesome.
This is where we learn that King William was. Yeah. Anyway.
It could have been a horrible person.
Yeah, well,
I
this
know
is
nothing
it.
about him.
Yeah, yeah.
Good whiskey though.
Amazing.
Shout out, he knows his whiskey. Cool. Yeah, listen, Royal Brackla, I don't know if I've tried much myself. I was asking you earlier. I think I've had a couple of...
To me, that's where they fall down, Bacardi, I mean, because they're fantastic with Cregality. And again, what I love about the Bacardi range is they've kind of got these characters. They've got Cregality, the bad boy of Speyside, as it's dubbed. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Love that brand. Don't change anything, Bacardi. It's just spectacular. The single casks, the core range, you smashed it out of the park. One of the few brands out there that, even if I got my hands on it, I wouldn't change a bloody thing about it because it's just spectacular. Aberfeldy is kind of like this, slightly lighter. It's kind of, they play into that whole, I think there's like a stream behind Aberfeldy with like gold running through it, and they play on that gold rush thing.
No way.
To me, the only downside of Aberfeldy is it's a bit light, But again, from a branding point of view, they really push it forward. They get it out
Is that
there.
why their tins look like gold bars?
Probably.
Right.
Yeah. So you can actually go panning for gold in the lakes, rivers,
that
whatever
makes
it is
sense, yeah.
behind.
Oh, right, yeah.
You can't keep it. You have to give it all to the king. But
Right.
But don't tell him you've gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You pay to go and mine mine gold for him.
No. You can go and pan gold, but if you find any, it's not yours. You can't leave it. Keep
Why
it.
would you tell anyone?
Well, exactly.
I'm not telling you.
Did you find anything? No, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. Right, see you later.
There's trousers falling down by your ankles, all right? But sorry, going back to it. But with Royal Brackla, again, they've got that cool kind of character, like the King's Own whiskey.
Yeah.
I personally don't feel that they do enough with it. More people need to hear about it.
This is why I said it goes under the radar a little bit, because I don't see too many people shouting about it. Equally, I don't see them shouting about it enough. Maybe they are. I'm sorry if you are, and I'm just not being targeted very well.
But that's the issue, is if you're not being targeted, you're a buyer. So why aren't you being targeted? So
all of us are.
As much
none of
work
us,
as they should be doing, or they are doing, or whatever, it's not going the right way.
I suppose that's
especially
exactly
in the
where,
enthusiast.
And that's what this brand is. This is a brand for whiskey drinkers. Do you know what I mean? It's a Glendronach. It's a Lechaig. It's for people who love their shit and really know it and want to get involved.
And I suppose from my side, like, the photography and marketing and stuff, I should know all about this stuff if it's as good as it is, which try it now.
Have you done any work with these guys before?
No, you're completely right. Like, I've seen the bottling and stuff, I've seen all the things they're doing, but in terms of actually getting hands on a bottle doing work, I've not seen much done on this really in terms of photography and all that kind of thing. And it's a shame, because sitting here now, you're completely right, the liquid is incredible, but I've not had the privilege to try it, which is a shame for so many people that are in the same boat.
I think if you were to ask a lot of people that are maybe kind of new to whiskey, when I say new, maybe a few years in or whatever, they probably haven't, I reckon if you asked Hayek or someone like that, you tried Royal Brackla?
You reckon?
Probably not, yeah. No, I reckon so.
I'll tell you what, I'm actually,
so.
I'm getting a whole new side of an appreciation from this 12. This 12 is a lot lighter and more approachable than I remember.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Really nice.
It's not the sort of thing that, you go to for when you want to ponder life and whiskey and all the, that's in the glass. But for something that's light and easy and is good.
Every day, yeah.
Everyday drinker, that's a supper, that is, absolutely.
It's very sweet, actually. Like loads of sweetness coming through now.
Oh, orchard fruit.
Now
100%.
it's warmed up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But it's nice because it's balanced by the dryness at the end.
Yes. Yeah, that dryness.
It's a journey.
Spice.
It's a proper journey.
Yeah.
And like you say, that cigar leaf and the fruit turning to that sour apple.
Yeah.
And the great thing about this is it's not overly complex. All of those notes that we've all talked through, anyone can associate with that.
Which is what you want from a whiskey, like.
Well, particularly from an entry level.
Yes.
When you're getting into the 18s, the 20s, and then you get into the crazy single cask.
You'd expect it to get complex,
But from the point of view of being able to have something that's approachable, that is accessible, that people can understand.
Yeah, welcoming.
Everyone understands sour apple. Everyone understands peach pear. Everyone understands, spices and cinnamon and cigar box. Cool. I get all of that. Yes. Brilliant. Yeah. All of a sudden, you're off to the races. You don't know anything about whiskey and you're going. Great. I love this. This is great. I'm keeping some of this in my glass. Now, look, this isn't supposed to be a Whisky Baron episode. Straight up and down, lads. The core range, as I've said to you, the 12, the 18, and then the 21, it's £200 plus a bottle. Now, we talk all the time. Jake is so frivolous with his spending. And, oh, my God. And, look, we want to bring you the best. We want to make sure that we share as much whiskey as possible with you, and obviously the core range is where we want to be. At the same time, we do have budgets, we have jobs, and obviously today we've been bottling a load of our own whiskey. So unfortunately, for you guys maybe, our budgets have gone towards our real work this month. So I haven't been able to splurge as much as possible on the core range. So we do have now a Whisky Baron expression. I think what I would like to focus on here is not that this is a Whisky Baron product. I'm not here to sell you guys. What I'd like to focus on now is actually we have 2 expressions from Royal Brackla Distillery as part of our lineup. We've only bottled 19 expressions to date. So there are 16 expressions of the Whisky Baron. And I would just mean the Whisky Baron on the shelf. We've done a couple of collabs. We've done a load of bespoke bottling. But if you want a Whisky Baron branded bottle, we've got 16 expressions on the shelf. And we've done 3 more today. Now, of 19 expressions, 2 of them are Royal Brackla. And I think that says a lot about the brand. So, for me, I want to focus on this next one. This is a single cask. It wasn't bottled at cask strength, but save adding a bit of water and bottling it at what I perceive to be the right point, I did nothing with this. So this is Royal Brackla. And what I love about this one, is this is just a straight bourbon hogshead. So what I've been doing with this project over the last 5 years is trying to replicate what the distillery does, paying homage to, apparently, to Stephanie McLeod. But, you know, to the brand as a whole, to the use of sherry casks, to the style of whiskey that I personally feel Royal Brackla fits best. However, I got my hands on this 15-year-old Brackla. It's a straight hogshead. And I loved it, so I bottled it.
This was bottled
And that
2 years
wasn't
ago,
a very
was
good
it?
pop, but there we go. Ryan.
Thank you.
This was bottled in 2022, correct?
I remember it. I think Ian was with us on that trip. Thank you.
You're right, and I think it was one of the first Bracklas that Ian properly got involved with as well, if I remember correctly.
But that's saying something.
I mean, he knows the brand from trade shows and stuff, but I don't think he's ever spent, you know, significant time with it. Oh God, you'll have to
Lovely
excuse
kind
me
of
all.
like-
I've been sniffling a little bit. I've not been well recently, so hopefully that's not coming through too
Lovely
much.
kind of like a white wine colour, you know?
So a lot lighter.
I would give that a straw colour. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Where are we up? Percentage 54?
54.3, I believe.
53.
54.3, not a cask strength. Again, I don't think I added a huge amount of water to this, same as this first one that we just bottled today. I believe I just wanted to take the edges off, so I think it was around 57, 58 straight out of the cask. But yeah, distilled in April 2007, bottled in September 2022. And what I love about this is just, again, showcasing that different side of Brackla, the same way we did our original Bunnahabhain, which is a 16-year-old, untouched, unadulterated, and Ian loved it because it showed off the distillate.
Yeah.
What I love about this is it shows off the distillate.
That is...
For the strength, it's just
yeah.
so easy.
It is, actually.
I haven't had this since we bottled it.
Yeah, neither have I.
2 years. How bad is that?
You still get a lot of that spice at the back end.
You do. It's
Which
just
is interesting.
There's a lot of spice in the spirit, right?
Like,
As in, like,
yeah.
I don't think it's coming from the wood.
Well, definitely that end spice comes from the Oloroso. I get kind
Extra
of like
spice.
a mid-palate spice on this one, though.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
you
lot
getting that?
easier to like take in, I think, and I don't know if that comes from like the lightness of it or, you know, how soft it is, but you are right, it's a nice spice in there.
This is like stewed apples soaked in alcohol for me. It's really
Swimming in alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, swimming. It's so sweet and juicy.
Stevie's going
Steve- I was
apple
gonna
bobbing
say,
in a cask of whiskey.
It's
got an
like
apple list
literally
down
you've
here.
just like, you know, dipped your apples in
Yeah.
syrupy alcohol. And it's so juicy. It's juice
Yeah.
for me.
I'm actually going to see what I wrote as the official tasting notes for this
Ah,
one.
this
whilst
would be
we're talking about
interesting.
it, because I don't remember writing these tasting notes in all honesty.
You're right, a very fresh apple. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't get the freshness.
Do you not know?
No,
that
it's not
comes
like
through to
crisp,
me.
No, it's not like a fresh bite out of an apple for me. It's still more kind of going towards those kind of stewed lines. But maybe I'm thinking that because of the spice that comes with it.
Yeah. See, on the nose for me, it's very, very more going towards fresh.
yes,
But-
yep.
On the nose.
On the nose, sorry.
Sorry,
yes.
I thought we were talking about the palate.
No.
On the nose, I know what you mean. A
Yeah.
bit fresher, definitely.
Like you say, when it goes on the palate, that spice really kicks through to it.
Cool. Do we want my notes?
Yes.
Here we go.
Here's some absolute nonsense. No, you know what? I love writing tasting notes, and I'm still learning all the time. So, you know, having written these 2 years ago, if I tried to write these again, they'd be different. And that's what I think so wonderful about tasting notes. People read tasting notes and expect, oh, well, that's exactly what I should be getting. Everyone's olfactory sense system is completely different, so you'll get something different. But for me, this is what I've put. On the nose, it's light floral notes like sweet peas in the sun. A perfumed fragrance lingers at the front of the nose with honeycomb, peach pits becoming more prominent. Leave the dram to aerate and a damp wood spice develops. On the palate, stewed orchard fruits come through first with peaches and plums at the front of the medley. Soft vanilla is joined by caramel and darker, richer honey than that on the nose. Oak spice then enters and intertwines with a damp cigar leaf for the floor of a dunnage warehouse. Finish is The sweetness slowly dissipates and is taken over by damp spice. Light tannins leave the palate thirsty for more. So kind of actually stuff that we've all been talking about from the others,
Bang on.
right?
Yeah.
You're completely right with the
Yeah.
honeycomb on the on the nose. That's
That is a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah,
Overall,
yeah.
it's obviously from the notes and from what we've said, it's just very sweet. You know,
It is, really sweet.
You know,
And again, very approachable as a style for people who don't like whiskey, right? Or don't know whiskey.
Go
Or
for that cask strength as well, that higher alcohol. You wouldn't even really notice that. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, really, really nice.
This is the sort of thing I personally wouldn't do, but I think a lot of people would probably enjoy a highball with this.
right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's-
I
it's
think
not the
for
sort of...
lightness and stuff.
I'm not
it's-
massive on highballs myself. I'm quite specific as to what I like with them. But I think that this is the sort of thing a lot of people would probably,
Definitely.
go nuts for,
Definitely.
you know?
Did you write a cocktail for this one?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I'll find it in a bit if you want. But yeah, no, I think... No. Actually, no. I was thinking we did that, what's it called? It doesn't matter. This is people at home don't want to listen to me think. Sorry, I'll come back to it once I find my thoughts. People,
I'm sure we
apologies,
can make a new
apologies.
haunted themed cocktail tonight. You know,
Just as
one ounce, 1 ounce soul. You know,
1 hour later. No, it's. I'm gonna say it. This is. I think this is my favourite so far.
yeah.
All of them, yeah. And that's interesting, right? Because it's been no sherry added or finishing. It's just.
It's the distillate doing the distillate's job.
But also with the bourbon, right?
What's what I mean?
Those vanillins, and you know,
It's just light, but it's not like this is a first fill bourbon. This is a refill bourbon.
No.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
letting the distillate do its job over 15 years. You know, and I think this is the key thing with Royal Brackla. I haven't seen any young expressions from indies, but you know, you get certain brands. We'll come on to Kalila next episode.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of young Kalila being bottled. You know, you see some as young as 5, 6, 7 being bottled, and they can work. You know,
Yeah.
happy days. Equally, it works at older ages. Royal Brackla, to me, it's an age statement whiskey.
Yeah.
I don't say that to be pretentious or, you know, it needs time to do its job to shine through. And whether that's in sherry or unadulterated in some refill bourbon, whatever, I don't care. I personally think 12 is a bare minimum for this distillery. And I actually love the fact that they've spread it out and gotten rid of the 16 in the middle. Because I think it gives them room now to play up in the more premium end of the market. And I think that's where they should be focusing. They should be focusing 12, 18, 21. That's a wonderful little core range. It's not overly complex. There's a good bit of space in between them. I think the 21 is another type of sherry finish.
I think you're right. I wouldn't put it as pretentious either. I think from what we've seen, like
No,
the age is. I completely agree.
they're good
needed.
for it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting you say that, because there'll be a lot of other brands that if you tried their 12 and all you could then go to is their 18 and it was like £150 plus, you'd go, fuck off.
No, you wouldn't do it.
However, when you are introduced to something at 12-year-old, you know, this is obviously their core range.
Yep.
Here, try this. If you really like it, we've got something else, but
Yeah.
you've got to pay a bit more.
You got to level up.
And then once it's that good, you can go, actually, I'm going to trust that on that basis.
Yes, 100%.
That's going to be worth it.
And I think when your 12 is as good as what we've had now, you wouldn't mind going that little bit more to think, fucking hell, well, if this is how good
it's
the 12 is.
a really,
like,
really interesting marketing tactic that it's such a jump.
I think it's good. I think more distilleries need to do it. They're only 4 million litres, which I know sounds massive, but when most of that's going into dewars,
Yes, yeah.
you know, all of a sudden it's like, well, actually, we don't have a lot of liquid to fucking play with
Yeah.
yet. So why are we messing around in the same ballpark as everybody else? We don't need a 10 to 12 or 15 and 18.
Yeah.
Fuck off, all right? Let's work on flavour. And that's what I love. I was just double checking there. So you've got the 12 Oloroso, which sits at £63 as a retail price. You've got the 18 Palacatado, which sits at £135 retail price.
21 PX.
You've got the 21 Oloroso, Palacatado, and Pedro Jimenez finish.
Oh, really?
For £250.
Fucking triple whammy there.
Now, what I like about that as well, a lot of people probably argue £21, 21 years old, £250. Is it getting a bit too punchy? Arguably, yes. I think given the current market, it's fair.
Yeah.
But what I like about it is you've gone from 60 to 135 to 250. there is something for everyone. From a price point of view, I'm talking now purely price.
You open yourself up,
exactly, and that's what I mean. It's like if you want to dip your toe in,
exactly. Going on the back of the thing,
and then if you trust that basis and you like it, then cool, this is here for you. I still think obviously the 1821 is like it's up there. It's a lot of money still for a bottle of whiskey.
I think this is reasonable. I think the 21's a bit punchy for me.
Okay, sorry. What is the 18?
18 is 135.
All right. What's the 18 Glendronach?
Sorry, 2 seconds. I'm just double checking. The 21 is still 46%. That's the issue I have. Are you checking Glendronach 21?
18. Yeah, so 140. Okay. What did you say this was, sorry? 145?
135.
Okay, so it's playing in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
And so it should, maybe.
I mean, 46% versus 48%, so we'll see how it actually compares now in a minute. No, I think great value for money. 21 is pushing it a bit for me. But again, I've only tried these really at trade shows. So I think what I'd really like to do is do this episode again, maybe with Stephanie. And if you guys comment enough, we will definitely get Stephanie. Well, we'll do our best anyway. Can't overpromise there. Maybe
Stephanie.
Yeah, we will. Threatening, doesn't it? Sorry, Stephanie. We will ask you very politely, and hopefully you will join us for an episode. I think it would be great to dive back into this with somebody who's responsible for the brand, who's involved. I have so many questions.
Yeah,
I want to know about these finishing periods. I'm only saying 2 years for this, based off of a vague conversation from a trade show. So again, you're stumbling around, having had however many
just
drams,
kind of guessing
trying
away,
to remember what everyone's telling you. I'm probably wrong.
People sat behind the screen screaming at you right now. 4 years.
He's a fucking idiot. He doesn't remember anything.
Who's this guy?
Maybe so.
The 15 is great. This 15 is so good.
Yeah.
It's yummy,
I've got to admit, I'm
really
still
is.
leaning towards personal favourite is still the sherry blend. No, the
original.
The original,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like that thicker, sticky?
Yeah, I like the blend of it. Like, I just think it works really well. But I mean that 15 is great. They've all been fantastic though.
Do you know what I feel? I'm so fucking proud to be an independent bottler. Because, mate, this is great juice. And the fact that we get to put out our own renditions, thank you, Bacardi, for selling liquid to the open market. It makes the world of difference. And as we will see in the comments, and even just here this evening, the conversation that you can have, regardless of what you like best, like you say, it sparks conversation. Oh, well, what's the difference between this and that? Well, there's PX and that as well. And I like that side of that, but I'm not sure about this. And all of a sudden, you can expand your whole palate, your mindset with one brand just by having a few, 4 drams here. That's all. I think it's great.
How much is the 15?
Ours?
Yes.
£100. So there you go. Let's have everyone jump in the comments. Tell us how ridiculously expensive our whiskies are. Have a jab at the Whisky Baron. It's not cask strength, no. So I'm obviously joking. I personally feel that that's very good value, but I know a lot of people out there would say £100 is far too much to be spending on a whiskey. Absolutely fine. The Whisky Baron is probably not for you. We are a premium brand. I focus very much on quality. And I'm delighted to hear you both say that you're enjoying this because I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But when you compare, a 12-year-old at 60, 63 to a 15-year-old at 100 to then an 18-year-old at 135, does it fit in? I'd love to hear your thoughts, genuinely, guys. Do you think that that's a fair price? Do you think that we've over-egged it? Do you think we've under-egged it? Or do you think that it's spot on the money? For a single cask expression at £100, I think it's very fair value. But I'm really, really interested to know your thoughts. Please don't hold back. I can take it. I'm a big boy. We won't cry here.
Well, in that case...
Take all the abuse. So in that case, I was only telling you I like the first one to be nice. It's rubbish. Fair enough. Thanks, Ryan. Love having you here, mate.
Yeah. So I was trying to bring through that,
Ian's natural vibe.
Yes, yeah.
No, you're nailing it, man. Absolutely nailing it.
No, I think you're right. Like you said, the higher strength definitely brings it through for me.
It helps.
I mean, I'm a big fan of cask strength anyway. I think it does give that punch that you need.
Yeah,
which is perfect.
I think so. And this is again, so you talk about cask strength. And the reason I didn't do this at cask strength is, if memory serves, it was just a bit spiky, a bit pokey.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a little bit
I suppose
You just wanted to round those edges off, but a higher strength. And that's it. For me, a lot of our whiskies are up there in the higher strengths. I think the weakest whiskey that we have done is 48% ABV.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And the reason for that is, generally speaking, I think the whiskey holds a lot more flavour at higher strengths, 46, 48 up sort of thing. I would never water a whiskey down to sort of 43 unless it was if a whiskey falls naturally to 43, it's normally absolutely banging, great. But I don't need to add water that much, I personally don't feel. But yeah, I just think with higher strengths, it allows for so much more. Add it to a cocktail, it'll shine through that much more. Or add your own water and get it down to the 40% or whatever it is that you want it at. But, you'll get 2 bottles out of it as opposed to just the one,
Yes.
So, yeah, that's my thought process. But really interested to hear your thoughts. And if you've tried our Royal Brackla, please do let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well. More importantly, if you have tried either of these 2 Royal Bracklas or indeed the 21, please do let us know. And I'm also very interested to understand what people's thoughts are of the new versus the old, because obviously they used to have a 12 and an 18 in the old lineup. I think the specific difference now is the sherry finish that is used.
Right, as in they didn't before, or is it a different type of sherry?
I don't think that it was broken up per. I think it was just generally Oloroso, Pedro Jimenez, Palacatar, these sherry casks being used. I don't think it was specific to the age.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah. Shall we move on to the next?
Shall we? Yeah, I'm gonna put something out there. This Brackla here, the 15. Just
hour 15, yeah.
Yeah, hour 15, just in the bourbon. It kind of reminds me of Bamore if there was no peat.
Interesting. Okay.
In what sense?
Just in its character, its flavour profile. It just.
Do you get like a salinity on it?
No, and that's really weird. And I don't actually get much salinity, as in salt. Yeah. From Bamore, as a lot of people, and I know you and Ian do.
No, okay, that's interesting.
But I think what it is the kind of damp notes that we get off the Brackla. I associate that with the Bamore. Same
like Dunnage warehousey.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Bamore Dunnage warehousey dampness.
Yeah.
Anyway, food for thought. There we go. No one cares.
No, I do. That's quite interesting. That is quite interesting. Yeah, the dampness.
Yeah,
I kind of I'm with you.
Not like, of course, not the full thing, but like there are just notes in there. I just imagine if you stripped out the peat from Bamore, maybe a bit of the salt, if you get that, is the Brackla. But yeah. Anyway, where are we going next? Oh,
we're going to the 18.
I'm gonna take another glass.
That's dirty, mate. That's got a dirty rim.
Oh, jeez, you can't say that.
Whoa!
Dirty rims. You got a glass?
I would like a new glass, just because I wanna jump back into these.
New glass.
I'm kind of asking you if you've got a glass.
No.
No, there are.
Oh, I see what you mean. What's wrong with those? They're right.
Dirty rims.
Right. Okay.
One of them just had a very see that one. Got a filthy rim.
Please bear with us, people.
Shit, no way.
Alex, what's wrong with them?
One of them has that one. Look at the fucking filth. Boys.
Wow, that was really loud.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Fucking Egypt.
I'm all 3.
They're all dirty.
What have you been doing to the rims?
Sorry.
We'll have to.
Look, just use the glasses that I've given you, okay? Empty one of your glasses.
Oh, but they're all.
Just take a drink and quieten down.
Just drink out the bottle.
Sorry, no, you absolutely fucking won't drink out of the bottle. You absolute scumbag.
Drink out the bottle. Just what the podcast.
You know what? I think there's a glass somewhere. Hold on.
Please, everybody, excuse my colleague Stevie. Drink out of the bottle, you absolute pleb.
Is that one dirty or?
This is the man that works with me, just carries around whiskey glasses in every bag he's got.
Good lad.
Everyone rocking around somewhere, I'm sure. Thank you, mate. Lovely.
You're very welcome.
18.
So 18.
Palo
This
Cortado.
is Palo Cortado finish. Again, it doesn't say the finish period. I'm really annoyed that I didn't look any of this up specifically. Those two big ages. Right. yeah, please jump in the comments if you know the finishing periods for these. I have no idea off the top of the dome what the 18 finish period is. I have a feeling that the 12 is 2 years. Again, that bottle is just
Lovely, yeah. It's just the weight.
And the thing, talking again, about our brand versus other brands, because I don't want people feeling that we're getting all big for our boots here and trying to promote our brand. We were talking with Martin about this earlier, a lot of love and a lot of hate for our bottles. Some people absolutely love them and love the glass stoppers. I've equally had people, I was telling you, I sat next to a journalist and fucking hate those bottles with those stupid glass stoppers. And I was like, what do you mean like mine? I don't mind. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's fine. That's what whiskey's all about. Drives conversation forward. I'm all for it. This bottle, again, it just feels
nice.
Nice, man.
It looks good. Going back to Glendronach have gone for a similar bottle.
It's not enough. It's not.
It's not enough.
It's not enough, mate. I've tried
It's
it.
similar, though.
It's better.
I haven't actually.
They were just
held
using
it, but-
flint glass. No, I have.
Right.
They just
You
need
just
to
want
go-
that extra weight.
The labels of the new Glendronach are beautiful. I like the rebrand.
Yeah.
The bottles just need to be a bit weightier.
Haven't they gone for the same sort of kind of like what do you think? It's like embossing in the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is some embossing in the glass,
got
which
that.
again is a good step up.
And the shape is quite.
I would even,
wider
to be
at the
honest,
top.
even with this, I would add just a wedge of glass on the bottom, even still, and maybe even a heavier cork because it feels. But that's just a bit light now.
But it won't be real cork, will it? So
Sorry,
it won't be real cork, and it'd probably be
no, it doesn't look
fake
like real
wood.
cork.
I reckon. Maybe. Anyway,
But maybe even just for their 21, if it was like a metal.
for
core.
250 quid.
Yeah,
I want a
you-
little bit more of a
Yeah. You want to go up there, wouldn't you? Anything you can.
Yeah, exactly. What are you thinking so far, mate? Have you nosed it? Have you supped it?
Do you want to? It definitely, you can feel the cold of where we've stored them.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I think these ones have been in the car,
Yeah.
but given it was -5, cold either way.
Again, on the nose, it's I'm waiting for your Apple analogy on this one, to be honest.
Do you know what? It's a bit kind of funky on the
Yeah.
nose for me. It's got kind of like a almost like an off note.
Interesting. Okay. What do you
Dunno.
mean?
Kind of like a little bit of almost like a. Don't want to say.
No, it's that same damp note, mate.
No, this is a bit more sort of like
Sorry, I'm
baby
speaking to
sick almost.
Oh, really?
Honestly,
Oh, okay. No, I'm
honestly,
not getting that.
like a bit kind of cheesy.
Oh, I can see what you mean by the cheese. Yeah.
It might be just my glass. I did just pull it
Let
out.
me try your one, mate. If you've got a friend like this, they've probably got a problem. So,
Do you want to try mine as well, Stevie?
Can't smell anything out of that one for some reason. Yeah, let's try yours, mate. Mate, that's a healthy dram. Good
Tell
for
me
you.
about it.
Good for you. Yeah. There is a funk. There's a slight whiff of cheese or something.
I will respectfully disagree, but
Smell mine.
you're very entitled to your own opinion. Oh, well, now that you've given me this glass,
The Never Do Rim.
Look how get his whole fucking snout in there, mate.
yeah, there's no cheese coming off of that, dude.
Disagree.
Hey, listen, you're entitled
Anyway,
to your opinion. It's
what are you
wrong,
getting?
but you're entitled to it. I get like a damp note straight away, definitely. And then I get like a little bit of kind of like candied citrus peel on the nose. And it's actually kind of quite muted for me on the nose. It might just be because it's a neck pour. It's straight away out of the bottle. But yeah, it's a little bit
Palicatado,
muted.
what type of sherry is it? Is it a bit more of a...
Oh, dude, we need to do a whole
I know.
episode
Well,
on...
we did sherry, but it didn't go very well. But
No, we
anyway.
should
so
do a
much you
whole
could
episode
go
of Palicatado. Palicatado is beyond confusing.
Okay.
It's not even worth starting that conversation, I don't think, mate. We can't
Well done,
begin
Stevie.
to go down that.
That's a great way of not knowing the answer.
Well, and you know what? That's a big part of it, dude. I have spoken to so many people about Palicatado, and like Billy Walker was one of them who's
Yep.
telling me all about, and I immediately
He's a fan, isn't he?
of Palicatado.
Yeah.
Said it's one of the most exciting shit. I think he said it's one of the most exciting cask types that he's working with at present.
Wow.
And that's a man who's like got
statement, yeah.
fucking different oak genuses of he's got that chinkapin. He's got, he's not just dealing with, virgin oak casks from America. He's dealing with specific oak genus. And he's saying to me, Palo is one of the most interesting things that I'm working with at the minute. And he's,
we need Billy back on.
Yeah,
dude, this is the thing, man.
Good drop.
And there's somebody else I was speaking to about it as well. It may have been Colin Dunn, or it may have not have been. I can't remember. Somebody else I was speaking to about Palo, and both of them gave me more information than I could handle. And I was, it's kind of one of those things with Billy, it was about how the production of the Palo affects the casks and therefore the whiskey. And it was the sort of thing where I really wanted to just say, cool, Billy, can I just get out my phone and just type this out?
Take notes, yeah.
You don't want to say that to Billy Walker because you just look like a prick. He's spending his time with you. He's talking to you.
You'd appreciate it.
Oh, dude, I was literally standing there and I was like, I hope Stevie's got my mic and he's picking all this up because I'm going to fucking listen back to this later. Do you know what I mean?
Send me the transcript.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
Anyway, so the cheesiness is going a little bit now. It's warming up. I'm serious.
Yeah.
And it is turning more into that damp, almost kind of like a little bit of rotting apple for me now.
Rotten apple, okay.
So
we've gone from, where did you start?
Sour.
Like slightly sour to fresh but caramelised apple.
Yeah.
To now just
stewed.
Yeah, stewed apple. Yeah, you had stewed apple in there.
Very weird, isn't it? Amazing how whiskey changes, like even
over a couple
10 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so this
especially
is
room temperature.
So I'll read this initial thing, and this is from Wikipedia, and you'll understand why I don't want to dive into Palo because I will. I'll get stuff wrong, and I put my hand up. I'm not a sherry genius.
For the people.
I'm not even a whiskey
Here we go.
expert. Do you know what I mean? I'm just an amateur. I'm an enthusiast.
Hold on to your seats at home.
Palo is a rare variety of sherry that is initially aged under floor to become a Fino or Amontillado, but inexplicably loses its veil of floor and begins aging oxidatively as an Oloroso. The result is a wine that becomes richer with some of the richness of Oloroso, but crispness of an Amontillado. So this is the thing. Palo is this weird thing. It's kind of, it's neither here nor there on the sherry spectrum.
Trans sherry, isn't it?
You are in so much trouble for that, I feel. And I love it. It's kind of a trans sherry, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just abbreviating. Transitional.
Transitional,
from what you've just said to me.
Yes.
It's here, it's there.
It's neither here nor there. It's both places at once.
Transitional sherry.
So much trouble. That will get me into trouble, mate.
Maybe. But this is the thing. So sorry, with Palo it's probably the most complex sherry out there from a production point of view and from a stylistic point of view.
So it was the thing under the ground, under the floor.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
No, floor is like
oh, sorry. Yeah.
No.
I was
this is the thing. Look,
with you. I
want to get somebody who's an expert with sherry on because I'll get
Jesus.
stuff wrong, dude.
It's all a bit confusing, isn't it?
It is a little bit, but it doesn't matter because it tastes lovely. Do you know what I mean? It just tastes good.
That's what we care about.
One of the main reasons I ask is the colour, right? Because very, very light.
Mm-hmm.
Very light, yeah.
Well, so there's obviously, Palo in its natural form. It's not a dark sherry, right?
I think Palo can be.
Oh, it can, and sometimes it can't.
Darker than this.
I thought it was darker than this.
Yeah.
Then again, I mean, this is a finish, so
I suppose it comes back to again like how long they finished it and
how many. Exactly.
Yeah.
Was it second fill? Exactly.
Yeah, generally speaking, Palo is kind of that sort of colour.
So it's dark enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Okay,
it's definitely dark.
You'd expect.
Sure. And again,
darker.
this is why I'm saying I'm pretty sure. Same with this one. This is a much richer, but Oloroso is a rich dark colour, right? So this is what I'm saying. So I personally, my understanding, aside from the fact that the colour would say so, speaking with somebody, my understanding is that the finishing periods on all of the whiskies are short. But what's interesting prior to this, and I'm actually working on a big Royal Brackla deal at the minute. Hopefully it comes to fruition, and by the time this episode goes live, we've got loads more casks under management. That would be a massive win for the Whisky Baron. But what's really interesting about Royal Brackla is obviously, as with all stock, you buy it, and you buy it in hogsheads, you buy it in butts, you buy it in barrels. You seldom get any provenance on the wood. So you buy it in a butt, you don't know if it's a first fill, rich, sticky butt, or if
you've
it's
got
going to maybe
no
be
idea,
something that's a bit like whatever
Yeah.
it may be, right? Generally speaking, across the board, again, with Bacardi as a whole, their wood policy is phenomenal. You seldom buy a cask of Royal Brackla, Craigellachie, Aberfeldy, and there are problems with it. Normally they are very consistent in the quality of flavour, the ABVs, holding the volume. They're very, very good wood policy, in my opinion. But what's also interesting is, Royal Brackla obviously, ages in hogsheads, ages in these, second, third fill, fourth fill butts maybe sometimes, and then is given this finish period. I would be really interested to understand what the process is before the finishing period, i.e. what goes into the selection of the wood before they go, now this needs to be finished in Oloroso,
Yeah.
now this needs to be finished in Palicattado. That's where I think somebody like Stephanie McLeod would be able to come in
Definitely.
and give us
Give you the insight
so
of it,
much
yeah.
information. And that's what I'm fucking thirsty for. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's what excites me, is what goes in to the first part of the product before we get to this finishing period. Because, again, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this. I'm quite enjoying this. It's very light, though.
It is
Very light,
Right?
yeah.
And so I think the initial maturation period is what we're seeing most of here, with just touches of Palicattado, right? If
Yeah.
anything, I'd actually say that the Oloroso tastes more prominent than
Yes.
the
To be honest,
Palicattado.
I was just going to say the
Right?
12 for me is a lot more. I feel like you get a lot. And I feel like we're both in the same thing. I'm coughing from the coldness of the
horrible.
day, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
apologies
yeah.
for that. But no, I completely agree. Like I feel like the 12 for me has a bit more of a. I don't want to say a kick, but something there. Whereas 18,
It's a bit fuller bodied.
Yeah,
It takes you on that journey.
It's a lot
The-
richer, yeah.
The 18 is very, very
Delicate.
very delicate. Yeah, you bang on.
dib.
It's
Great
delicate.
word. Exactly.
I'm guessing what they were going for, right?
I feel like you could
know?
see. You could see that before you even kind of dived into it a little bit.
Yeah, no,
know.
for sure. Though, I won't disregard though the fruits in it though. They're quite They're rich, but not an Oloroso rich. They're more of a like an apricot or a
But the-
plum or something.
But it
It's
is,
not-
and it's that kind of, it's not veering towards tropical notes, but it's
No.
veering towards the lighter side of the orchard.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
apples and
yeah.
pears that you
Yeah.
see from a lot of 12-year-olds. It is, like you say, those apricots, some of those
The
dried
lighter
fruits
fruits, I
almost.
think,
Yeah,
It's becoming that much
Yeah.
more developed. And I think what I love, and like I say, the 12 kind of surprised me with how light it is.
Yeah.
But what I love about this one, or what I previously loved in my mind about this one, was it went from kind of a slightly richer, heavier dram, with the 21 on the other side being quite rich and heavy, and then the lightness in between. In the same way that they have their Craigellachie, they have the 13, which is a great big bolshy bastard. Then you have the 17, which is rich and sherried and even bigger. Oh, and then you've got the 23, which is like, hold on a fucking minute, is this the same distillery?
Yeah.
Like, this is a whole different game. And I love that because they're giving
yeah.
diversity. And then they go to 31 and it's kind of back, oh, okay, we're back here again. Cool. This has kind of surprised me today. What I love about this is it offers, again, that slightly different opportunity, that slightly different
yeah,
experience
completely
from the
right.
distillery. It's still very much of Royal Brackla, like you say, those fruits, it's all coming through. It's still the distillery signature, but it's just a slight twist on it, and I love that. I think more distilleries need to be doing this. There are too many distilleries out there. I know I'm saying this every episode at the minute, but I strongly believe there are too many distilleries out there just playing the game that everyone else is playing. And why are they doing that? Well, because everyone else is doing it.
That's what they
Why do
know.
we cask at 63.5%? Because everybody else does. Why do we do a 10, a 12, a 15, and 18? Because everybody else does. Why do we bottle at 46? Because everyone else bottles at 43 and we want it to be a little bit different. But, it's like everyone's kind of doing similar stuff. With this, at least you're getting variances within,
Yes.
but those variances are still singing the song of the distillery.
Yeah,
Very
You're completely
rare.
right? Yeah,
Very, very rare within a core range.
and you need to put yourself out there in order to hopefully gain that traction and be a bit different, which is good.
Well, this is lovely, and it actually works really well at 46%.
Yeah.
I don't think I would want it any stronger.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't think I would want it at cask strength, for example, or whatever. I think the balance there between the spice, the fruit and everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Whether that's intentional, which of course it kind of is, but the fact that they're all 46%, there's some consistency there they want for some reason.
Yeah.
Is
So that's the
21 46 as well?
That's the downfall. That is, and that's again.
Have you tried it though?
I have tried it.
Okay.
And again, at trade shows, so I haven't given it, I haven't sat down and just focused on it. You know, I'm sure that I would find things that I haven't seen before. But the thing about the 21 for me is if you want me to spend £250, I'm more than happy to spend £250 on a 21-year-old, especially of a caliber like Royal Brackla. Great. Come on. Give me something more. Make me feel a bit special. Make me feel like I'm getting my money's worth.
Yeah.
I personally feel that the 21 should be at 50%. And again, you know, we talk about, why not 48? Well, because 50 stands apart a little bit from the crowd. Because 50 is that extra 2. Does it make a difference to you? No. But people who are buying that bottle, they're going, oh, okay, actually, this is quite special.
You're going up that next level, aren't you? Like, you know,
how many distilleries have a 50% expression out there? Even Glendronach, who I fucking love through and through, 48. You know, that's where it gets to, you know?
Yeah.
Let's do the 21 at 50. I agree with you. You know, previously I've actually thought, this could be a bit stronger, but I actually, supping on it now, I agree with you. I think 46% works for this. With this one, again, it works very well. Could it be stronger? It could be stronger. I don't think it needs to be stronger. And for the job that it's doing, bringing entry-level drinkers in, showing Royal Brackla as a beginning sort of, it does the job exactly as it needs to. Fantastic. The 21 is where they lose me a little bit, which is a shame because with only 3 core range expressions, you wouldn't want to buy 3 and the most expensive one be the one that disappoints you.
No, definitely.
That would leave you feeling a little bit.
I think it would. Yeah, it would put a very sour note on the your.
On the purchase, on the experience.
On the brand.
On the brand.
Yeah, no,
correct. Yeah. And look, that's not to say, obviously, look, I'm sure there's loads of people out there that love this 21. If you tried the 21 and you like it, please drop it in the comments below. Of course, this is just one person's opinion. But I just, that's my opinion on the 21. It's a lovely dram. It's grand. It's not £250. No. Personally. And as somebody who's, you know, quite happy to spend money on whiskey, I think that says a lot.
For sure. I don't know if I'm loving or hating the consistency of spice through Brackla for me. It's there all the time.
It is
sometimes
probably the most
it,
consistent note of it, I'd say, really.
No, I think it's a heavy part of its core flavour profile, the spice. I mean, can you go on tours at Brackla? Is it? Do they have a visitor centre or?
Really good question.
Again,
I have not a fucking baldies.
Because my next question is: have you? You probably haven't been there, obviously. Then
no. So Craigellachie is only ever open Spirit Speyside.
Right. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Royal Brackla isn't open to the public.
Okay.
Like I say, look, this is a liquid that's made for bulk blends. You know, this is going into. I think mainly goes into Dewar's White Label.
Yeah.
You know, it's like bottom of the rung blends that this mainly goes into.
Because it would be so interesting to try the new make Brackla and see if that spice.
That'd be interesting.
You know,
or whether
heavily.
it's just coming from the cask.
So sorry, Stevie, just going back to your comments, because I agree, the spice is definitely present throughout. What's interesting to me is that you're not sure whether you like it. It's kind of maybe hitting on some and missing on some of the others. Is that what you're saying?
I think the spice element of Brackla takes water well, obviously.
Okay.
Don't know if I enjoy it at high strength, the spice.
Okay.
The other notes I do.
So you're not liking the spice in this one, is what you're saying, maybe? Or this one?
No, because that's really weird. So I've saved all my drams here.
So it's just because these are the lowest strength ones of these.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
So what are you, sorry, I'm just trying to get, because for me, and I'll explain why I'm asking the question. For me, what I love about Royal Brackla is it is that quite, I don't want to say diverse spirit, but I suppose, you could say that. It is quite a diverse spirit. And what's great about it from a food pairing point of view, or a cocktail point of view, or enjoying in different experiences point of view, you can quite happily pair these with cigars, with sweet treats, with savoury food. And because you've got that mixture of the sweet and the spice and all that throughout the dram, you've actually got the opportunity to kind of have a range of different experiences with it. So go on, back to the question then.
What was the question?
Like, what is it that you say sort of seem a little bit uncertain about some of the spicy notes within Royal Brackla?
I'm not uncertain. Well, no, I am, because I just said I don't know, I love it, I hate it. I'm trying to. It's just a bit intense to me at the highest strength, the spice.
When you say the
Brackla.
highest strength,
what, like
we've had 4 expressions. Which one specifically?
Well, obviously the two higher
Cask
strength.
strength, what, the-
the
So,
cask
Yeah,
strength.
these two ones.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so in the first, in the 15 and the 10, the two Whisky Baron ones.
Yep.
The spice is just too prominent.
Yes, it is, and they were the first, obviously, especially the. So what's the first one we had?
It's the 10.
strength.
Yeah.
Strength, though.
59.4.
So way too much for me to begin with. First dram of the day.
Yeah, fair enough.
essentially.
Yeah.
I've
We
just
have
gone-
done them in an interesting order.
Yeah.
Just gone back to it. It's still there, but not as heavy, obviously, because now palate is acclimatized to the spice, let's say. But yeah, no, it's. Don't want to linger on this for too long, but it's still. I think, and I think even when we were tasting this earlier on today in the warehouse, I just want to see that spice rounded off for me personally a little bit more
the higher strength.
on the higher strength.
Yeah.
Of the Brackla spice, you know. Though going back to the 10 that we just had, yummy.
But you know what, dude? That's the beauty of having a higher strength is you can add water to that and watch as it goes. Now, I know Ian, who's normally sat where you are, would fucking hate me saying that because he wants a whiskey to be bought and
Don't
to
say
be
that
ready
to me, Jake.
to be poured. You know, and I get his point of view there. I completely do. And I respect you for, you know, your opinion there. 100%, dude.
Yeah, it's nothing, you know, it's
No, it is
talking
personal
about
because it's all whiskey. I'm only joking. But no, but you're
about
right.
Royal
Cheers, Stephen.
Brackla.
No. But at that higher strength, and it is maybe a bit too much for you. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not saying that I would have noted.
As I say,
specifically
going back
before.
to it now, you know, had a few drams or whatnot. It's not as prominent as it was when it was the first dram
Yeah,
of
I
the
suppose
evening,
being
right?
the first is quite.
Yeah, but it's
a
still
punch
there. It's
into
still
Yeah.
still a little bit spicy. But anyway,
See, I'm still like loving the blend of the sherry cask a little bit. Like that's definitely among them all been my favourite. I think the 10-year, isn't it?
That's 10.
10-year, yeah. I think that's still probably
going
my
back to it,
favourite.
mate,
Yeah.
there are some. This is like I can't remember the chocolate's name. It begins with M. They do like 100% dark chocolate in the supermarkets. Anyway, anyway, they do this cherry dark chocolate bar.
Oh yeah.
That is that.
Yeah.
Right there for me. Going back to it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was thinking of Bourneville, but it's not that. No, dark chocolate with cherry. Okay,
But it's yummy. That's what I'm saying.
fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, we've gone through the four. You know, look, as we say, guys, I think there's a lot to Royal Brackla. I would love to get somebody from Bacardi in, specifically Stephanie, because she's the malt master with Royal
Let's
Brackla.
go to the distillery. You know.
I would love to go to the distillery, dude. Yeah, very, very, very cool. That would be awesome. If anyone from Bacardi is watching, please see what you can do to help us get our way along. Let's have a little bit of a roundup. Let's talk through these drams. We obviously started with the first one, which, like I say, we bottled today. It's not on sale yet. It won't be on sale until 2025, realistically speaking. I suppose it's only fair to do this the right way. It'll probably retail for 80 to 90 pounds a bottle.
Nah, do you want to do that? Okay, yeah.
Do you? I don't know. Yeah, what's the best way to do this?
Well, I mean,
I don't really want
some
to
might say you're back.
vote our two whiskies. Yeah, that's it. I can't really give a vote for my whiskies personally. I don't think that's right.
Well, this is it, and nor can I.
Okay, so there we go.
Right,
All right,
so this episode's just about me. I will vote.
no, yeah. Look, I think it is. I think you're right. I think it's unfair to rate the Whisky Baron bottles. What we can say is this one will launch in 2025. There are 560 bottles,
Yes,
give or take
yeah.
one or two, give or take one. There are about 560 bottles. They will probably retail for 80 to 90 pounds per bottle. We are going to do our best to get these out far and wide. If you're interested in it, please drop it in the comments where you live, what shops you shop at. We'll see if we can get it into a shop near you. With regards to the 15-year-old Royal Brackla from the Whisky Baron, it is already online at thewhiskeybaron.co.uk. It's £100 a bottle. Again, guys, we really appreciate you tuning into this episode. It is by no way a means for us to tout the Whisky Baron products. It is just a simple fact that we had two expressions that we have bottled from Royal Brackla. I'm a big fan, and as I say, unfortunately, I couldn't afford the full core range this time round. So,
And on that note, if you have purchased a bottle of that, or you are going to, or if you do purchase a bottle of that, give us your honest rating. Would you
please.
buy it again?
Yes.
Would you bin it? You
Great.
know,
Yeah. Buy it.
Don't be
buy
nice.
Oosh,
You know,
bin it.
No.
we need this feedback.
But only
Criticism
if
is
you've
good.
actually tried it, okay? We don't want you being nice or horrible for no reason.
There'll be
if you
some
haven't tried it.
anonymous.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be
In
a
the
few
bin.
people,
Yeah, when we've done this,
That's all right. We can take it. But no one being overly nice for no reason. We want you
Exactly.
brutal, truthful.
No, we need to know.
All right, cool. No, I agree. All right,
that
so
case-
let's focus on the 12 and the 18 then. So the 12-year-old is a £63 retail. I was lucky enough to buy this for just over £50 on a special sale. And with that in mind, guys, do keep an eye on Master of Malt, particularly around Christmas time. There are loads of deals going up there. That is not a paid advertisement. It's just something that people with good sense notice. So check out Master of Malt. I love them. You should love them. You can get some great whiskies. 12-year-old Brackla. Let's do it at the RRP because not everyone's able to get a good deal. £63. Stevie, I'm coming to you first, sir. £63, Royal Brackla, 12-year-old.
I mean, what is Glendronach 12? Because that is, I guess,
Doesn't
my
matter.
benchmark.
This is Royal Brackla 12.
It's up there. Did you say it was on sale sometimes?
I got it on sale at 51.
All right, for £51.
No, that's not the game. For £63, it's retail. This is, come on, for people
All
who
right,
are
okay.
tuning in a year's time,
All
we
right.
can't get it on a Christmas sale.
Here's what I will say is, for that price at retail, if you haven't tried Royal Brackla, I would buy it, and I would buy it again. There's a lot of 12-year-olds on the shelves that are at 45, 50 quid that are, no good, let's just say. It's really good. It's such a good introduction to the distillery and the flavour. And as I was saying earlier, if I was to buy that, I'd take a punt at 60 quid, and I actually do think it's a little bit up there, personally, for me. I know the market's inflated, whatever. But I was to try that, and then someone would say, would you buy the 18? I would probably say, you know what, I probably would take a punt because that was fucking good at 12.
Aye.
If it wasn't, I wouldn't ever look at the brand again.
Right.
And the fact that that is their only kind of affordable core range product, let's face it. Because apart from
to
that,
the everyman,
it's the 18.
That's going up £100 plus, yeah, definitely.
Then, they obviously trust it, and for a reason, because it's good. So, my answer.
Before we're
sake,
fucking
come on, mate.
old and gone, mate.
At the sale price.
Fuck off. At £63.
Listen, I'll give it some love. I'd buy it.
Cool. It's a
definitely
buy from
buy.
Stevie. We got there eventually.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry if you're grey and old at this point. Ryan, coming to you,
I
sir.
certainly am. Listen, I think you've hit a lot of good points there. Like you're so right. There's so many 12 years out there and like welcoming expressions. For me, I've never tried this brand before, Royal Brackla. I've never had it.
Okay.
The 12 sold me straight away.
Cool.
I think perfect level of alcohol. The notes throughout are incredible. And I think you're right. It gives you that opening to dive into something a bit more intense. The 18, the higher APVs. But yeah, for me, it's no-brainer. I would buy
It's a
it.
buy.
Yeah.
Cool.
2 buys, followed by a third strong buy. I love it. I think it's great. It's actually lighter. Like I say, it's kind of surprised me today, which I like. I like being surprised by whiskey in a positive way. I think it's great. I think it's really, really wonderful. And it's a big fat buy. Easy. And then the 18-year-old, £135 usually. Like I say, I believe I got it on sale at about 110, 120, whatever it was I said earlier. Can't remember. But £135 is the standard RRP. Stevie, coming to you first, sir. Royal Brackla 18.
I don't want to be mean because...
No, be honest. You love being mean. What are you on?
Do I?
Yeah, you laugh in the run up to these episodes. Oh, I'm going to be so mean to that brand.
You were saying that this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Royal
All
Brackla.
day. All day. I can't wait to be mean. It's just a little bit up there price-wise for me for an 18-year-old.
much?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a pass for me.
Okay.
It's lovely. It's just
lovely.
It's lovely.
But
It's just
Yeah, the big but.
I can't. It's expensive.
you can't. You can't afford it.
I can afford it. I just don't want to. There's other things that I would go for before that at that price point.
Point
right?
well taken. Point well taken.
There would be indies that I'd go to and buy some really selective single cask, possibly cask strength. Not that it's all about that,
Yeah.
but do you know what I mean?
But you
I'd
have
go-
access to that sort of thing at 135
I'd go for
pounds.
things that are limited availability, Yeah, no, it's good. It's lovely, but no. Sorry.
Cool. Not quite
Brackla.
for Stevie.
Yeah.
Ryan?
I think I'm the same. I think when the 12 is as good as it is, to kind of jump up to that price, like I say, I'm not
We could have
endorsing
3
the Whisky
bottles as
Baron,
well,
but I would go for either of them. You know, I think the price point, probably something a little bit more than the 12 I'd want, and I think that's where the higher strength of the the Whisky Baron side comes in really well for me. The 15 and the 10 probably sit there a little bit nicer than the 12 for me. Okay. So I probably won't go for the 18.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Ryan's looking for independent expressions, which is absolutely fair enough. And the Whisky Baron is not the only place you can get them. There are loads of great independent expressions of Royal Brackla out there, but we appreciate your thoughts there. That's very kind. So not quite a buy on the 18 for Ryan either. Look, for me, it's a buy. I definitely take your points under consideration, guys. It is an expensive bottle. It's not the sort of thing that I would buy, and as soon as it's empty, I'd buy another one. Do you know what I mean? It's the sort of thing I think is really wonderful to have on the shelf. And what I love about this expression is it's a wonderful, light, bright, interesting point of difference compared to a lot of 18s, and I just think that it's really quite cool. It's different. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've just noticed it says complex on the front of the 18. Do you agree with that?
Where does it say that? Sorry,
Yeah.
Aromatic citrus complex.
No, I mean, would you say it's a
From
complex?
our notes, I think we went
Cherry,
more.
yeah, but this one said cherries demerara.
Yeah, that's true. I think the 18, to be honest, we found more
Sorry.
quite light and simplistic on the.
I don't know. I think there is quite a bit of complexity there. I think it's
I
just
guess if you sat with it, maybe.
exactly.
Yeah,
Sat with the whole
open it
bottle.
up. Yeah,
It's just
Yeah,
light.
yeah.
It, just because it's light doesn't mean there aren't layers to it, right?
No, that's fair.
No,
Do you know
I
what
didn't
mean?
say that. Sorry.
No, I know. That's my point of view. I would say that
there
there are complexities there, and
yeah.
like you've just said, I think if you sat down with it for longer, and then to your point, you know, does it need the high strength? Arguably no, but if it was 48, 50, you might get those few more layers out of it a bit easier. I don't know, but
It's a good dram.
it's a great
It is
jam.
a fantastic.
It's really
whiskey.
good.
I think it's
Yeah.
a great jam. I think I appreciate your point of view, gents. It is on the higher side. It still just slips into the buy for me. I think it's lovely. It's not the sort of thing that I need multiples of. It's not the sort of thing that I need one open constantly. But I'm glad that this one's open now. It's going to be on my shelf for a while. I'm going to be sharing it with the right sorts of people. And it'd be wonderful to share it with you guys this evening. So thank you very much. Listen, guys, if you have tried Royal Brackla before, please drop it in the comments. Let us know what you've tried. The 12, the 18, the 21. If you've tried the old school versions and you haven't tried the new school, let us know what you think of the old. And if you tried both, which one's best? One thing we haven't mentioned today is Glencairn. We are, of course, sponsored by Glencairn. You notice us supping away on these beautiful Capita glasses, or the traditional Glencairn, whilst we're sat here in Stevie's Nan's living room. Just because we're in Stevie's Nan's living room doesn't mean that we don't bring our beautiful glassware with us everywhere we go. Hopefully, you guys have some Glencairns at home, but if you don't, you can buy some of your own. Use code UNCUT20 for 20% off. As we've told you before, we don't get anything from that deal other than the knowledge that Glencairn gets some great customers and you get some great glassware at a discounted price. That's all we need. We were, however, showered with gifts from Glencairn, so we're very, very grateful. Thank you, Glencairn. For all of us here at Uncut and Unfiltered, though, that has been Royal Brackla. Quite a nice distillery, eh?
Fantastic, yeah.
One to look at again?
Great for me. First try.
One to look at again?
Definitely. Do they do
Here's
single
to Royal
class
Brackla.
expressions, do they?
It's something that you're going to have to look into in your own time because
Because,
unfortunately, we're all done here.
Oh,
but
okay.
keep an eye out for Royal Brackla. We will see you next time. Sláinte mhath.